What's going on? What's going on? Let's go wait for a couple more people to get in the chat and we'll get started. What's up? What's up, everybody? All right. Hopefully, y'all learned something tonight. I've been in the gym late and I've been seeing some things I don't like. So let's see. See if I can get y'all back on the right track. Austin, what's going on? Yeah, Friday nights. I feel like more people have been showing up on Fridays and they've been getting more playbacks if I do them on Fridays. So it's been working out. All right. Hopefully, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and get started now. Whoever's in here, y'all can catch it on the playback later because I got things to do tonight. All right, bet. So let's get into this. So this is gonna be big boy talk tonight. This isn't, this isn't like little stuff. I try to give y'all big brother type information so that you are on point at all times. Even if you are OG and you know this stuff, sometimes the things I like to do is give you guys refreshers. That way, we're all on the right track. And what I've been noticing, like, in my personal life, I can kind of relate things that are happening in my personal life to working out. You know what I'm saying? It's to make everybody kind of make sense of what it is that's going on. And sometimes with me, I have an issue where stuff can be right in front of me and I can't see it. Or something that I used to do that I know that works, like, or my foundation can be right in front of me and I forget about it because I'm so focused on the small micro stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for example, some of you guys may be in the gym and instead of being focused on your overall package, like your foundation, you're doing things like bicep curls, like biceps was going to be the thing that takes you to the next level or something like that, where you got to kind of peel back the layers and say, well, is this really even important? You know what I mean? Like, what's the bigger picture right now? Like, what am I missing that's taking me, that's preventing me from becoming successful with my physique? Is it because I'm not doing enough bicep curls? And most of the time, it ain't that. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time, it's not little stuff that you think is, important to you as a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like the show muscles. That stuff isn't important. And so we got to kind of scale back sometimes and start thinking about what's the overall picture? What am I in here for? And, like, am I making the best out of my time, while I'm here? So, the question tonight is, are you building muscle or are you just working out? Are you just in the gym frivolously doing exercises, just to be there to say I was in the gym? Like, is that good enough for you? Or are you in there really trying to make change and make shapes and put this muscle on? And, to keep this in mind, a lot of y'all know how to build muscle, but, we tend to sway away from it because you can get so caught up in the what's happening right now, what's hot right now, what's right here in front of me. Ooh, let's use this machine. Oh, this is the new workout, So let's kind of get back to the foundation. And I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Like, we'll go through a couple things. I got 5 things on my list. And then, if you hear something that resonates with you, try to address it and, make sure that you're doing some things to fix your workout program going forward. All right, bet. So the first point is the gym is supposed to be to train your body, right? You're supposed to be using the gym to train your body. It's the whole point of going in there is to get in shape, like to make a difference, not to just go in there as recreation and to chill and to socialize and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So you got to treat it like work, like it's a serious thing. you know, and yeah, you can go in there and socialize. Yeah, you can have friends in the gym. Like I get it. You know what I mean? You're gonna see it, man. You want to be in there looking at chicks and stuff. Like I understand, but that shouldn't be your main purpose of going in there. Yeah, if that motivates you to go in there, cool. But when you're in there, you kind of got to get clocked in. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that going to the gym is just for fun. Like yeah, it's cool. It can be an escape from reality and if you got real life stuff going on, yeah. But when you're in there, you got to be locked in. You know what I mean? Like you got to really be dialed in. And what I mean by dialed in is a couple key things that I'm gonna go over next. But when you're in the gym, make sure that you're using the most out of your time because a lot of times you can just be wasting your hours, and wasting your hours it equates to nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so you may just be in there doing things that you think are beneficial, but realistically, you and I both know you wasting your time. You're in there playing games. You know what I mean? Maybe because you don't know what to do, or maybe you just want to get out the house. So, let's go over a couple of things. Treat your body as if you're like some type of athlete. Keep that in mind. You're training for symmetry, for physique. And, the whole point of the gym is to train your body. And we say like working out is one thing. Yeah, but training is how you can make your body shape shift or teach it things. You know what I'm saying? So use that time to really get a chance to be sophisticated and specific about what you're teaching your body. All right. So when you're in the gym, work out with a purpose, work out with a reason, work out with some passion and some type of some type of drive when you're lifting. All right. The next thing is sometimes you guys can have aimless workouts. And when you're working out aimlessly, maybe that's just because you don't know what to do or you don't know, how to be or what things you need to do in the gym. I understand that, so sometimes you work out aimless, but you got to have a vision. And the first thing is like, if you got a vision for what you want to look like, then that kind of can lead the way, the direction of the type of workout style that you do. So you got to have some type of vision in the first place. Like if you don't know what you want to look like, you don't know what it is that you're trying to accomplish in there. Like there's no point of even going to the gym because you're in there, you're in there wasting time pretty much. You don't have a set goal of okay, this is what I want to accomplish. Okay, what do I need to do it? Boom. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do it. Like it's easy work. You just got to keep on doing the work, and you got to do the same thing over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Like the same intensity over and over and over again. Keep replicating that process. But if you go in there and you're like, what do I do today? Then that's gonna already that takes off, 5 percentage points of what you was getting ready to do because you walked in there and now instead of having that intensity of getting your mind worked up all day long preparing for this thing, you walking in there like, all right, what's next? And now it's like you don't really know if it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really put the energy into it like you want to because you kind of just are moving aimlessly and off track. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you got a vision for your workouts. Make sure you got a plan for your workouts and a strategy, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that those workouts are highly efficient because that's what it's all about. Like you don't need to be in the gym 6 days a week. 3-4 days will suffice, but you got to make sure that those days are highly effective days and you got to be utilizing every ounce of energy within you to make it make sense. I was in the gym last night and I did my legs and I usually do leg presses like third or fourth before I leave the gym as my last exercise on a leg day. I'll do leg presses and then I'll do like a single leg squat just to burn out my quads or something like that. But yesterday, excuse me. So this chick, she was on a leg press and she, I was waiting for her to get off the leg press and I walked over there and, I was going to get on there and change the weight when she was done because she wiped it down. And I wiped it down too because I ain't nasty like that. Wiped the machine down and I got ready to change the weight and I'm like, dang, she had the whole rack on this mother. And I'm like, you know what? F it. I'm about to do the whole rack too. You know what I mean? So I just used that a little quick motivation to be like, let me get in there and stop playing. Like this chick used the whole rack. Like, why can't I? You know what I mean? And so that was my thing to kind of wake me back up and put me into my zone to be like, yeah, let's go. Like, I don't need to be playing around with the weight that I know I can do. Like, let me go ahead and do what I'm unsure of and get busy with that. That way I can kind of just see. And it was, it was worth it. Like my quads was pumping and I needed that. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that I waited. I'm glad it worked out like that versus me going over there and saying, oh, let me go default to what I'm used to, change the weight. You feel me? So have that intensity, have that vision. And if you are going to be aimless, like, go crazy. Don't hurt yourself, but go crazy. The next thing is, I noticed that a lot of you guys and women are just kind of simply going through the motions, and going through the motions can be cool because you want to be in there in the first place. But going through the motions isn't necessarily, it's not going to get you to your goal as fast as you want to if you're not really clocked in. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that if you're going through the motions, go through the motions with high intensity and effectiveness and efficiency when you're doing it. Like, stick to your plan. Don't deviate from your plan. Don't go in there and go through the motions and say, okay, I'm gonna just do this today. I'm gonna just do a leg exercise today, and a quad exercise, and a hamstring, and the glute, and the calf, and then I'm done. Like, make sure that you go in there and like, hey, listen, I'm gonna do a little bit more than I probably even need to do just to make sure that I tore everything up before I leave out of here. Like, I walked in there yesterday, I did calves first because I know I don't like messing with calves sometimes. So I did calves first, and I got off the calf machine and I said, should I do some more calves? Bump it. Let's go do some more calves. We did some more calves on a different machine, just to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna go through the motions of my sequence of my exercises, but still use extra intensity whenever I get a chance to, and do more if you can, just to make sure maybe you didn't go as hard as you could have on the first thing, and so to clean up what you need to clean up, go do something else just to clean up those pieces. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Don't just go through the motions aimlessly unless you're going through them with high intensity, right? The fourth thing is, I've noticed that, even with myself, we tend to take a lot of time off in between workouts. And when you take off, like, okay, so let's say, for example, you working out and you got like a month or 3-month plan, right? And you work out, 4 days a week or 3 days a week. That's your goal. When you start skipping, like, a chest day or a shoulder day, let's say shoulders, leave you shoulder. Nobody skips chest day, right? Let's say a shoulder day. Let's say you do your shoulder day first week of the month. Week 1, you do your shoulder day. Week 2, your shoulder day. Week 3, now you move your shoulder day to another day that was a little bit further out of the range. Like, let's say you started Monday and then you did a Monday, and now you're doing a Wednesday, and then you move to the next week, and now you might do a Thursday, and then you might go to the next week and then skip shoulders because you had something to do that time, and then you get back to it. Well, see, what tends to happen is when you start taking off too much time in between those muscles, they can't grow like you want to. I told you guys before, when I first started working out, like, and this ain't no, like, I'm not into that science stuff. Like, I don't know how that works. Like, you need 4 weeks to build 1 pound of lean muscle mass, like, all this, like, whatever, you know what I mean? But I know when I first started getting busy, and even when I start going back in, because I've lost and gained, just so I'm playing with my body, seeing what it can do, right? What I've learned is that, like, if you can stay consistent on something, like, religiously, and it took me 5 months to put on like 20 pounds. Now, yeah, I was a beginner, but I really wasn't a beginner because I had been working out trying to get there. And even now, like, I just recently dropped down because I was on that antibiotics, but now I'm back up 10 pounds already. You know what I'm saying? And I'm lean too. So my thing is, like, I know how to do it, but you have to make sure that you can't skip too many days in between. Like, those shoulders got to remain sore as often as possible. Like, you almost got to walk around in a perpetual state of, what's sore today? Like, when you go into the gym, you got to be like, man, where am I sore at right now? Am I sore? Am I sore here? Am I sore here? Am I sore here? Oh, I can't do this now because I'm sore here. Or I can't do this now because I'm sore. Like, you got to be in that. Like, whatever's not sore, that's the day you working. That's the exercise you working at. I mean, that's the muscle group you working at that. So keep that in mind. You want to keep that thing really sore. Keep all your muscles, worked. And if you know they haven't been working, you're feeling yourself and you're like, I feel good today, that's a problem. Like, you shouldn't be feeling nice and loose. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe once a week you feel nice and loose, but stay on it and stay in that passion. You know what I'm saying? Because really, once you get to that goal, you're not going to have to work as hard as you did when you first started off. You probably could take your foot off the gas, but you're not going to be able to see that later on down the line. You take your foot off the gas. Like, you thinking you can take your foot off the gas now, or you really got to act like tunnel vision and take your foot off the gas way later on down the line. Like, once your body's made its adjustment and you're in cruise control. Like, once you get it, they say like if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use it when you're supposed to be using it, you'll never have it. But if you've had it before and you fall off, it's not that hard to get it back. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Unless you gained it in one of those ways where it was like quick weight loss, like get in shape in 30 days or something like that, then yeah, you don't deserve to have it anyway. All right. And then the last thing is you're not eating enough for growth. Remember, like, when you tear those muscles down, you might be a 200-pound man who's trying to put on some size or whatever size you're trying to put on, and eating your regular amount of food is not enough anymore because now you're working out to grow. So if you want to put on more, you got to eat marginally a little bit more. You don't got to go crazy and be like, oh, I'm good now stuff. No, it's not that. But it's just that those times where you may have not taken in food, you got to be having those. So, like, for example, let's say you have your breakfast. You can make your breakfast a little bit bigger. Maybe adding your fruit to your breakfast this time. You have instead of not having a snack a couple hours later, Like, go ahead and have you a handful of trail mix or something like that a half hour later, or a muffin or something, or maybe another piece of fruit with some applesauce or something like that. And then you have your lunch later. Like, you got to be on your meals, right? And then maybe your meal is a little bit bigger than it normally is. When I was younger and I was just working out, like, I didn't really have no money to be eating like that. And I was still eating, like turkey and hamburger helper and stuff. Like, I had my hamburger helper that I made for dinner that last night is gonna be my lunch for the next day. You know what I mean? And if I didn't have, hamburger helper for dinner for my lunch the next day, then I made sure that I was having 2 turkeys. Like, and I made them as thick as possible, mustard, whatever else I could, vegetables or whatever, to make sure that they was hearty. And you got to do that. You got to have 2 instead of 2, have 3. Like, so you don't have to eat a lot of food or grow like that, but just have a little bit more what you already have. You eat strawberries, have a little bit more strawberries. You eat eggs in the morning, have an extra egg. You know what I mean? Like, so just make sure that you're eating for growth, because that muscle now needs that food. And also remember that when you're working out, you have a window that you need to be putting food inside your body. Don't assume that because you worked out that was enough. Make sure that you're still eating to grow that muscle, because you got to, let's like put it in your mind, let me go eat within an hour. Like, bump all the science and stuff like that. Just as soon as you finish working out, go make sure you eat something within an hour. I don't care if it's rice cakes, I don't care if it's some oatmeal, I don't care if it's a protein shake. Like, within that hour, go put something back in your body. You know what I mean? And then you'll start to notice anyway, like, once you get on that routine, like, it's cool that I'm saying it and it's like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. But once you get on that routine, you'll see your body's going to be starving. And your body's going to be like, listen, feed me right now. Like, I need something to eat. And it won't be as hard to feed yourself or to, to eat, to grow like that. But when you're starting to feel that hunger, and you, like, if you're a person who's been working out and you're in the gym and you now all of a sudden you're starting to feel hungry all the time, something's working. And that your body's saying, all right, look, we in machine mode now. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on making changes. But I hope you guys learned something tonight with that one. Let me look in the chats. So, YSS, what's going on? I appreciate you loving my info. I try hard, man. Question: I'm incredibly sore after your workouts. It takes about a week to recover after a leg day. What are you doing wrong? You're doing everything right. That's what it's supposed to be. Stay sore. You know what I'm saying? Like, working just as hard. Make sure you don't hurt your knees and your Achilles tendons and your ankles and all like that. But if you just sore in just your muscles, okay, cool. But you may not be eating enough for those muscles to recover. So make sure that you're doing what I said in this list and making sure that, if you want those muscles to recover, they need food in order for them to grow. And so make sure that you're eating enough food, especially on those leg days where you lifted heavy. That's the day where you need to be eating the food, especially on leg day. On the other days, you don't need to eat so much, but on those leg days, go crazy with your meals, Joe Looney, you said, what are my thoughts on the belief that all you need to do is diet to drop weight, and that deadlifts and squats are the best exercises? I think that, for example, deadlifts, I don't think there's no best exercise. Like, it just depends on what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on what your shape is. Like, if there was a best exercise, it would probably be swimming. You know what I mean? Like, there's the best exercise. It's probably something that utilizes your whole body at once. Like, that's probably the best exercise. But like, if you're talking about being in the gym and you're lifting, yeah, I think big movements, big compound movements are the best thing to do, especially when you want to put on some strength, because once you get stronger, you're able to lift heavier weights for longer periods of time. And that's where you get a chance to start really bodybuilding. So you need that foundation of building that mass and building that power and that strength to be able to do things like deadlifts and, presses and shoulder presses and stuff like that, to be able to have that strength to be able to do it. But when it comes to high reps and tearing it down over and over and over of doing those things, you don't need to be doing a million reps of deadlifts. Like, you can use a lighter weight and do a lot of deadlifts just to feel that muscle, because muscle doesn't need a heavier weight to grow all the time. So keep that in mind. As far as all you need is diet, no, you need the 3. You need the triple threat. It's diet, cardio, and lifting. Those 3. Those make you lose weight, not just one of the 3. Why said, she said, not only men here. Oh, excellent. Appreciate it. I'm glad it's not just men in this group. And what you say, White Shake said, not for real. Once you start eating enough and eating right, you'll blow up. Yeah, you will. You will. And then you said, is there a good supplement for muscle recovery? For muscle recovery, I don't know if there's a great supplement. I tried it. I used to use glutamine. Glutamine may work for you. You could try that. You can use magnesium oxide. I try to take magnesium oxide after my workouts. Those are cool too. But as far as recovery, it's just stretching and and maybe if you get one of those massage guns or something like that, like those thermal guns or something, that may help a lot with a lot of the pain and stuff that you have in those muscles to tear that break that lactic acid up so that's not so sore. So keep that in mind. All right. Anyway, great live tonight. Glad everybody came in and joined. Hope you all learned something. Write this down, share it with somebody that you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next week on Friday at 6:45. Thanks for watching.